Air Force Gap Year is a great way to join the Air Force. So instead of joining a job role that you may not be too sure about, you're joining just for that period of time, so 6 months at a time, and you get a holistic understanding of all the job roles within security for air base protection and security, and then you can make an informed decision as to where you want to go. For me, I chose to join via the Gap Year pathway because it's a great way to enter people who are going through the same stage of life as you are. So we're either out of uni or straight out of school, roughly the same age bracket, so it's the same interests, and you build lifelong friends. I mean, it's a very easy way of coming into the Air Force. The training is all still the same, but you integrate it quite well.
I joined the Royal Australian Navy Gap Year because, like some people, I didn't know what to do after school finished. Wasn't quite sure where I wanted to go or what career I wanted to pursue. So I saw the Gap Year as 12 months of work experience and experiencing that military lifestyle, and seeing if that was something that I wanted to do. So I joined straight out of school.
I joined straight out of high school, so straight from year 12 straight into Kapooka. I used the Gap Year program as more of a try before you buy. I always had my eyes set on the military, but I wasn't actually too sure on which service. By using the Gap Year, I guaranteed myself that after 12 months I could leave and then essentially go into any of the other services, or think, no, this isn't for me, and go to something else. For me, it was a bit different joining as infantry and getting injured. I spent a long time at School of Infantry in Singleton, to then moving off to the Army School of Ordnance. Day to day, I'll come into work at 0700 to form up on parade at 0720. From there, we'll get our names marked off the roll and we'll branch off to do PT, whether that's individual PT, so we'll go to the gym and work out, or organised PT. From there, we'll cut away and come back to work at about 9 to 9:30 to then open the warehouse for the companies. The companies will come in up until 12, asking for whatever they need, anywhere from general stores up into very specific things like ration packs. Then after 12, we'll go to lunch, come back from lunch, and we'll essentially close the warehouse off. From there, we'll generally deal with our own sort of situation, recalibrate the warehouse, get it back to working order, and then prepare for the next day.
So during my Gap Year, wanting to be a bosun, I spent a lot of time with the bosuns. So I was like a bosun apprentice, you could say. So I spent a lot of time in the armoury, looking at a lot of weapons, stripping them, putting back together, learning what they were, as that was one of the main roles as a bosun. Learn a lot of parade and ceremonial, a lot of things that I probably wouldn't do in probably my career. So I sort of love the weapons, looking at all of those, and I think that's really, you get to teach people how to use them and stuff. So that was the day-to-day things that I sort of did.
Hi Jess, tell me a little bit about your role as Air Defence Operator.
So I'm based in Adelaide at 16 ALR, and I work with the RBS-70, which is a ground-to-air missile system, and radars, and we detect enemy aircraft and protect the ground forces.
Awesome, and you didn't sign up for the Gap Year straight out of high school, did you?
No, I didn't. I was at uni for a year, and then I decided I wasn't really loving it, so I looked into the Gap Year and I thought it would be a great experience to challenge myself and learn some new skills.
Tell me a little bit about your typical work environment and also who you work with.
So in the barracks environment, we do basic maintenance on the RBS-70, so that includes the sight, stand and missile. We're outfield a lot, and we work within detachments and teams, and also cooperate with the Air Force who do flyovers so we can track live aircraft.
Awesome. Now, what advice would you give to someone who's also looking at applying for the Air Defence Operator Gap Year?
I think if you're interested in learning about aircraft, you like the outdoors and you want a hands-on role, it's definitely something you should look into.
It's actually great working in Air Force, I found, because your work-life balance, it's not just work, work, work. Especially in air-based protection and security, they're all about maintaining a civilian life outside of your career. So on shift, we actually get time designated to go to the gym to maintain your level of fitness, which is one of the perks of the job. Our roster's set out where we have days on and days off, and some of those days off can be quite extensive. So you're basically living a civilian career while still being a part of the military, and that's something quite unique for air-based protection and security. So there's always opportunities to still have your outdoor sort of hobbies, kept up to speed. For me, being in the Gap Year program, it offered you a lot of opportunities because at the end of the day, they want to expose you to defence. I was very lucky enough with one of my colleagues to get flown down for RAF Base Richmond for about a week, and all expenses paid for. And we actually got to augment pilots and loadmasters on board the C-130J model. And basically you're being exposed to their job roles. So I'm talking tactical flights at 50 feet above the ground level at night on night vision goggles, and it's stuff no other member of the Air Force can get through on a normal day. And sitting up front of the cockpit while the pilots are talking, while they're flying, them pointing out things to you, watching them push out pallets from the back of C-130s, it's stuff you don't get to normally do. So I think being in gap year really helped that experience become plausible. And again, if you're looking outside of gap year, what you want to do later on, that's just going to help your application because you've got that much better of an understanding about the job role. So for me, that was my highlight.
I think my highlight in the Navy was when we were doing our sea phase on HMAS Adelaide. We were transiting up to Darwin, and so before we went to Darwin, they went out into the ocean a little bit and they actually lowered the back of the stern door, and we all got to go swimming in the middle of the ocean. I've never done that before. I don't think the average person ever does that. So they lowered it and everyone just jumped off the back and just went swimming, and it was the best time ever.
One of the biggest highlights I had throughout the gap year for me was probably getting through the training. The Army training, it's not easy. Some people will find it extremely easy and some people won't. But after, days, really important days, especially Kapooka for bayonet assault course, where, the day before you're dreading it, thinking this is going to be insanely impossible. How am I going to run through this course, 10 or so times, having to scream my lungs out. But at the end of it, you're sitting there with all your mates and you're just like, yeah, I did that. Being around such an amazing group of mates, that's definitely my highlight.